right, everybody, welcome into the DNVR Rapids postgame. I'm your host, Marshall Carroll, joined by, of course, Yahir G. Vasquez. And we are presented to you today by Evolve TV. Well, here's how it goes. If you haven't been able to watch the games, Nuggets, Avs, Rapids, you're probably streaming like everybody else, but you don't have to do that anymore. You can sign up for Evoca TV. They have all your Colorado teams that you want to watch right there on Evoca. A totally new approach to TV programming that is less expensive, easy to watch, and offers a superior picture. Services includes local networks like AT&T Sportsnet for those red hot Rockies and Altitude Sports for your Nuggets, Avs, and Rapids. Service is now available in Denver and Colorado Springs, and they have all the sports that you need. You can even get coverage of the Rams and Pioneers. That is every single favorite Colorado sports team that you want to watch right there on Evoca TV. Go to evoca.tv/DNVR. Use the promo code DNVR and you will get $10 off your first 3 months. That's only $15 per month, the first 3 months plus the receiver. No contracts or hidden fees. That is Evoca, and thank you, Evoca, for sponsoring this podcast. Okay, yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
How are you feeling, Mitch? First of all, I saw a few things out there, and I want to know how you're.
I'm feeling, man, that's tough. I'm feeling there's so many things to take away from this game, right? Obviously, the Zardes debut was nice to see. Price coming off injured. 5 straight games without multiple goals or a win. The Viacia debut, which I think had some good and some bad. I guess I'm just a little. I'm conflicted. I'm happy that Zardes is here. I'm happy they're making some moves. Yeah, you know what, Joseph? Shout out, man. That was the highlight of the night. Was the Owls, dude? That tweet blew up to the point that Omar, the communications director, had to come give us an update, like an official update from the Rapids communication department about the Owls. It was awesome. Yeah, man. It was just tough result. Tough result.
Dude, this is gonna be very contrary to belief. I'm okay, dude. I'm not worried yet at all. I'm like,
okay.
It was like, okay, it sucks. I think they should have gotten the victory. There's things they have to improve on, but I'm still not that worried, honestly. I still think like this team is good. Like I don't want to look at them with like burgundy colored glasses either. There's a lot of things they can improve on. But I'm still not that down as a lot of people on Twitter are, a lot of people in the Rapids community are. I'm honestly just like, okay, on to the next one. Just you guys. Fraser's a smart dude. He'll know what he has to say.
I'll say this: you're right. Okay, like didn't get the result, move on. It's not the end of the world, but all those points count for the same, man. And you're looking at 5 straight games without 3 points. Exactly what Joseph said.
That's cool. That does worry me.
Yeah, man. Cool. You bring in Zardes. Great. Okay, now who's going to play the Price minutes? Is it Warner? Which I guess was really the only move. I think I would have liked to have seen Acosta. Is Mosquito going to play a lot more? It opens up a lot of questions, man. The 3 points, even with the Price injury, I think 3 points, you're answering a lot less questions this week.
That's for sure. Again, I'm not taking anything away from them. Like I do think there's things to improve. There's actually a lot of things they have to improve. They have to improve how sharp they are. Their passing was not good at all. They had to improve the creativity in the team. Even when Price was there was no creativity in there. Like I love Price, but like the midfield was not creating like it had the last couple of weeks. Like after the last 30 minutes or so, you know. After the first 30 minutes, they did not create like the shit out. Like they weren't being creative or anything. So my whole thing is like, okay, I get it. You guys had one off day. I think they've had only one bad game in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
You know what? No. I think you're right. I think that's fair.
I just don't think they've been getting results. Like if you look at the last,
I would say like Dallas and Minnesota are tough. It's tough to call those good, right? But for the most part, if you look at just the run of play and how it went, you would think that they had more points than they got. Joseph. Yeah, okay, let's get Joseph in there real quick. Joseph said, one last comment before I leave and start my recap. Yarbrough was immense tonight. He's the only reason why this wasn't an L. Huge, huge, huge game from Yarby. He took the captain's armband when Price subbed off. There's really not enough you can say about his game. I thought he had 5 or 6 just super athletic saves. That run of 3 shots on goal after the Viacia turnover early in the second half, where he was just like full layout 3 times. You can't say enough about Yarby, man. He's been great.
No doubt.
Honestly, I think he's the MVP of the game, right? I mean,
for sure, man of the match, no doubt.
And not even close. So yeah, let's actually go into the debuts. Before we dig into Zardes, because I think there's plenty to talk about with that, but that might be a little more of a global conversation. Viacia got the start tonight for Wilson, who wasn't even listed on the team sheet. Obviously, still dealing with that hamstring. Mixed results. Obviously, that big turnover that luck somehow didn't turn into a goal because Yarby just went superhero mode. I thought he looked super athletic. Clearly, one of, if not the most athletic guy out there. Clearly, he looks like a NFL, like a big NFL wide receiver. Honestly, when you're looking at him, I thought, I think there's just a couple balls, a couple touches that he probably would want back, but overall, I think positionally he was sound. Athletically, he looked like he could hang. Overall, I would say solid debut for him.
Yeah, I really had no huge qualms with him except for that one error. I thought he filled in the spot correctly. I just think we really saw the impact of Danny Wilson not being there the last couple of games. The creation out of the back has not been there. The defense has been a little bit less stable. That's a huge thing I've noticed the last couple of games. Danny Wilson is a huge part in people we both talked about that one thing that he's like the best passer from the defense, right? Like highest rating or whatever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was the highest rated passer in the MLS.
Exactly, and that's the sort of thing that was really needed today in that back line. There was a lot of arrogant passes. I think Trusty had one of his worst games.
Yep.
I think Trusty was very. I'm not gonna say bad, but he just hasn't been informed the last 2-3 days.
I think loose might be the word.
Yeah, like he was playing a little unfocused. Usually things that he does, he was like a stalwart. His passing has not been clear. His tackling has been iffy at times. His positioning is scaring me a bit.
In Viacia, he wasn't the only surprise in that 11 tonight. I was kind of surprised to see Beta get the start over Lucas. I'm not sure if Lucas wasn't feeling up to full match fitness or something like that. But that was a bit of a surprise, right? Andre getting the start, also another surprise that we haven't really seen a ton of that. Just a weird 11 going in, weird game.
I do want to say about those two, Shinichiki and Beta I thought did great, man. I love their game in the first 30 minutes. I thought they were creating that right side. They completely attacked it. I was really, really into their game, how they were playing off each other. I thought every time I saw Beta touch the ball, I got happy because I knew something was going to start happening.
I think they should have gone through him more, honestly, in the second half. He was throwing his hands up like, get me the ball on the wing. And, I don't know if it was a result of Wilson and Price being out or what, but it just took an extra pass to get out there when he was wide open on the wings. And it ended up just kind of not forming like it could have, considering how wide open he was. It was just an odd game. But let's go into it. Let's talk Zardes. Zardes comes on in about just before the 60th minute, comes on with a whole big group sub, three on, comes on with Lewis and Lucas. And I thought the early returns were promising. He didn't necessarily threaten too much, but he was making cuts when he should have. He was getting into the box, putting himself in position to receive passes that ultimately didn't get there. But it's only his first 30 minutes with the team, literally, because he didn't get any training in or anything. He spent a little bit this morning with the coaches looking over film and stuff. I've never seen a sub coming on spend that much time looking at a game plan, like on the iPad or whatever they use on the sideline there. They were really going over because he has no clue what to do out there yet, except just go play soccer. So, I mean, obviously the hype is unreal in terms of adding that skill set to the team, but not too much to take away tonight.
Yeah, I one thing I really did love from him was when as soon as he got in, it was the opposing team's corner, and he's already yelling at guys and trying to move him into position. I'm
Mhm.
like, dude, study the team. Like, you like it for you to get on, never practice with this team, and you're in that corner yelling at guys to get in position and telling them where to go. To me, that was super impressive.
I mean,
If that's what we're gonna get from him, that's gonna be awesome.
he's one of the older players on the team already, right? I mean, definitely
Yeah.
has as much experience or more than anyone, especially when you factor in, national team appearances. So it makes sense for him to come in and really make sure that things are going right, especially with Price off. Yarby can't be too involved on corners because he's all the way back on the other side. So, but overall, yeah, I mean, it's clear that him and Rubio are going to work well together. You hope tonight would be the one where they get one in. The zero is tough.
Rubio had a couple too. Rubio had a couple in the.
Oh man, the one off the top too was the second one off the bar was so rough, man. That was an inch from going in.
That literally, inch, man. Like it
literally. You could not have been closer to a goal without scoring than he was on that second attempt. And so I think, yeah, man, I guess, I saw that they didn't get a shot on goal, but I guess, does Woodwork count as a shot on goal?
I think so, because it's inside.
So then they had 2 shots on goal. So, okay, so they don't. So I will probably have to amend that tweet I put out earlier, but I did see that it was, there was pretty much a toothless attack tonight, minus those 2 frame shots from Rubio. So Portland coming up next weekend, week from tonight.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a tougher. I think so. This is my theory on the team. I think they're playing down to their competition.
Okay.
I really do think that. I think they're getting confidence after the year they had last year and the talent they have on the team. I think this was a wake-up call for them. Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to be their turn to actually go out there and show that they were why they were the number 1 team.
Okay.
I do have a big feeling about
that. Okay. I'll say the 1 point they got left them in 10th, right? So they didn't really move in the standings. Seattle is currently losing 2 points behind them. But Austin got a win. Dallas got a win. Minnesota got a win. It was a rough day to drop points to not get 3 points against an expansion team with the way that the rest of the league played.
Yeah, and I guess that's the disappointing part. I don't think the disappointing part is the Rapids. It's who they got the result against.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the result sucks. I don't think it's a bad result. I just think it's bad because of who they play.
Yeah.
And how they and that's because I don't mind the draw. I'm still not panicking on the team. If you would have asked me last week, I would have panicked. And you literally calm me fully down. You completely flip-flop me to the point where I'm like, no, this team keeps being good. It doesn't stop me from being mad at them. Am I a little bit disappointed? Of course. Am I panicking all the way? No, because I know what they are and I know what they can be.
Okay, well, from Saturday. Okay, so Saturday coming up, they have Portland. Okay. And then the following Saturday, they're in San Jose. So from that San Jose game, in 15 days, they play 5 games, including their Open Cup game against Minnesota. So it's at San Jose, at Minnesota, home to LAFC, at SKC, home to Seattle in 15 days. That Portland matchup all of a sudden looks huge. Huge.
Yeah, and that's one that after that one, I think that's when I panicked. That's when I moved from a green to maybe a yellow to almost because that one's one where you're gonna have to start taking out your grit and showing what you're really made out of, and in that stretch where you're gonna have a shit ton of matchups in a very short period of time.
If you want to be a team that's hosting playoff games, you can't go 5 games without 3 points. You just can't. And I know it's early and there's a ton of season left, but all the points count the same. I've been saying it now for about 2 weeks. All the points count the same. Right? And 3 points is 3 points.
And they do count the same. And I'm not going to say they don't because you're right. You're completely right. But how many times do we see a team start off hot and just and miss the playoffs or barely scrape in? I'd rather the team go and head into the playoff momentum. You know what I mean?
The sound effects.
You'd rather go up than down. And I think this team has that potential. And that's where I'm not scared at all. And after next week, I'll start panicking. Right now, I'm still okay.
100% potential remains the same. 100%. 100%. And adding Zardes, I think Zardes and Rubio are going to play excellent off of each other. That defense is definitely going to need to find its feet with Trusty leaving, but Viacia does look promising to fill that role. Out of all the options, I think I'd prefer to see him over Moore in terms of like, okay, do we get more starts before Trusty leaves? Like, can guys fit in and see how they play? I think I'd like to see him more. So, you are absolutely right. And then in terms of potential to right the ship is very high, very, 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 very high. But at a stretch of 5 games isn't too small of a sample size to not be like time to answer some questions, time to look yourself in the mirror. And Portland is not an easy match at home, right? I mean, obviously, look at the playoffs last year. I mean, the last game was they scored a man down to win a road playoff game in the 90th minute.
Dude, for sure. Again, after next week, that's when I start panicking.
Yeah.
I really, really think that it's all gonna go down to how Jack Price is.
Yep.
But I think at this point, it's also how good. When is Danny Wilson gonna be back? When are we gonna get the full form of this team?
Yep.
Danny Wilson and Jack Price together are amazing. Today we saw Jack Price without Danny Wilson, and last week too. Not much was there.
You're right about that.
You put Danny Wilson back in there with Jack Price. You put Zardes up top. You still got Rubio who can create too. And then Mac also has to be better in creation. He has to be that person that's up there trying to get it to the forwards, trying to find the target man. Especially now that he has like a big target in Zardes. It's just trying to find that equilibrium and how to like get the ball to Zardes, and that's Zardes does what he does.
Look, I said I would panic after tonight if they didn't get the 3. They did get 1, so it's not 0. They didn't lose to Charlotte or anything. But 0 is the disappointing part, right? Like, sure. I would much prefer 1-1 or 2-2. So much more than that, because they just have like you can only go so many games without scoring goals. Like you got to put some goals in. This, they're getting chances. Those outside backs are putting in good performance after good performance in the attack. And while Rubio is only 1 off the goal, well, probably not after today, but going into today, he was 1 off the lead for goals in the league. It's just not enough from the surrounding cast, man. And it's 2 goals needs to be the expectation against Portland. I think almost more than 3 points. I think 2 goals is more important.
Yeah, you got to show you can score. You got to. That's like you're so right with that, man. I'd rather see the goals than the actual result. Because the result, yeah, it's nice. Like, of course, it's preferred, I guess. But like for your mental state, you kind of want that. You want that 2 goals to like get you settled in and let you know, hey, this team can actually score goals. They were just going through a drought. So I can see that. I can definitely see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. I guess just some weird notes. Just some notes from the game. 20th game unbeaten, dating back to May of last year. So almost a calendar year without giving away 3 points at home. So that is nice. Nice to see.
Guys, let's be honest. Buying pants sucks. It should not be this difficult. I'm looking for that one pair of pants that does everything. These just came in. They're the only pant from Athletics Men. 4-way stretch, done. All-way stretch, you're going to feel the difference.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. There, do we lose?
Best thing
Can
about
you hear me?
Pant, honestly, everything.
I think you froze,
You almost
Mitch.
forget about the deal that you're getting. Same
Either one of us two froze.
There you go.
Get a pair
see me? I think you froze for a while. I can't hear you, Mitchell.
Am I here?
Oh,
you got me? You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
You got me? Do you have a tab open that's making noise?
I always assumed that using a bigger provider meant better coverage. It turns
better. Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
I was hearing an ad in my ear. Okay, yeah. So that's nice to see with the point streak. You're getting at least 1 point for the last 20 home games. So that's pretty cool. Weird stat of the night is that's nice. Is Minnesota, Austin, and now Charlotte all got their first road points as clubs in Colorado. So that's kind of weird.
Especially in a fortress. Like that is very weird. That's the last place you'd expect it.
And then, I mean, Rubio, Barrios had a couple shots at his 40th career assist, didn't get it. 100th career appearance for Mark Anthony K. Just a lot of weird milestones in what is a boring game, right? Like, you get the Zardes debut. There's just like so many things that were interesting that ended up in just the least interesting game you could ask for.
Okay, that's my question. Do you think with the week of practice, we see a lot more like set pieces for starters?
Yes.
Do you think that affects it at all? The price might be out.
Yes. I mean, look, there's some talent. There is some talent on the ball. I think Lucas, Barrios, Keegan, they can all put a ball where they want to. It's not like Price can, but I don't think it's ultimately,
I think those like corners is like what scares me the most because they've gotten quite a bit of goals out of corners here. I think 2 or 3. So that's the one thing that scares me, if I'm honest. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Who would you want to see in there? Like, what's your preferred lineup?
Next week. So assuming Price is out, I would want Acosta probably get the start.
You would like Acosta,
and then put the 2 guys up top. Yeah, put Zardes, Rubio up top, and then I don't know, Max, Mosqueda. Doesn't really matter in that spot. I would like to see 3 midfielders though. I think.
I'm kind of looking at it, man.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to give props to Jonathan Lewis. I want to give a lot of props to Jonathan Lewis and all the subs that came in. I think Lucas, Artis, and Lewis did a great job of re-energizing the game for like 10 minutes. You could tell the Rapids had like a new energy in them. And I really like Jonathan Lewis' game. Like he is what we thought he is, a super sub. He came in and he showed what he had to do. But for next week, I think
pace was great.
I'd love to replace back with I'd love to replace Shinashiki with Max and go to Costa as well. I think that'd be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, Andre off and then Max, because Max can kind of play a little bit back compared to some of those other guys.
Although I did like what I saw from Shinashiki for the part today.
I thought he was. Yeah, he was ultimately fine.
We'll see what happens there.
All right. Yeah.
One last thing on subs. I wish Max would have came in earlier for Max.
Me too.
I thought he should have had at least 15, 20 minutes of action in today's game.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it's not an easy job for Fraser with Price out. So, that kind of that completely changes your game plan. So,
for sure.
So let's give him a heads up. What do we got on deck for this week?
For this week, we're still planning it out, guys. We're a poorly shot podcast, so we're still trying to figure out our life. I still don't know what I'm gonna eat tomorrow or tonight, man, and I'm starving. If I'm honest with you, so, I am so sorry, guys. I am trying to give it my all to this podcast. I do so much. Mitch does so much. We love you guys today. We do this because we love you. We're tired too, guys. We promise you we'll give you an update tomorrow.
I did talk to a couple people at the C38 tailgate, so we can maybe there are some stalwarts that I'll say that we've had on before, so should be a fun week for us.
Some C38 see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, man, subscribe to DNVR Sports, YouTube, hit every like button you can, get your membership at thednvr.com, get your shirts at the DNVR locker, follow both of us on Twitter, and that's Yaya. I'm Merchel. Up the pids, baby.